And we're recording. Welcome everybody to the first of four Thursday night sales clinics, brought to you by the Vaughan Business Enterprise Center. And the next 4 weeks, we're going to go on a journey of, just talking about how you can grow your business, be more effective, sell more effectively, connect with your clients in a more effective manner. One of the things we're going to teach over the next 4 weeks is a system I've developed called the 6-step sales process, or what I fondly call the joy of 6. So we'll be looking at that, and we'll be, looking at it in a very sort of close ways, and what you need to do in order to become more effective and more successful at selling, and to enjoy the process. It's a 6-step process, but selling to me is one of the, I find it really enjoyable. Why? I think, for me personally, I like meeting new people. I find it a challenge, and when I meet with success and I get that meeting and I get that order or the sale or whatever, to me that's an exhilarating feeling. But like the screen is saying, to sell in today's market and environment is really challenging. I mean, some of the challenges we deal with, of course, is failure, right? When somebody says no. But other challenges include the idea of gaining appointments. That's a big challenge, in terms of prospecting. 18.59% of respondents said gaining appointments is the biggest prospecting challenge in 2015. I'm not sure that's changed, a year and a quarter later. Over 30% of people say that competing against a low-cost provider is a big challenge. So one of the things that today's wise salespeople and business people are doing is they're using what's called social selling. So what's social selling? Social selling is using your social media as a way to engage, entice, and raise your profile and begin the sales conversations ahead of you having to call someone. So when, one of your social media strategies should definitely be to inform and educate the buyer or your market that you're engaged with, be it on LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter. Use good content that's going to get people's attention, that's going to have them form a positive viewpoint of you, and use your social media to help you in the sales process. Why does social selling help? Well, it helps you cut through the competition, and it also helps you avoid making presentation mistakes, because you've already built a bit of a following, there's a bit of a trust that's happened, right? When people, your clients or prospects, see you engaging online, they've already got a trust. You don't have to be perfect in your sales presentation. So there's more challenges too that we're faced with. How about this? Do you have a fear of selling? Does the thought of calling someone up that you've never met to promote your business just have you stop dead in your tracks? A lot of people would say, what? Yes, right? Would you rather build paperclip models at your desk than pick up the phone and reach out to a prospect or a client? So here's the truth. There are too many people who think they don't like sales or even hate selling. They think the view and the belief on sales is that it's icky and it's sleazy, and a lot of people regularly come out with statements like, I don't like asking for money, I don't want to bother somebody, right? So, the bottom line is selling isn't always a fun thing to do. What I'm hoping to do over the next 4 weeks is to shift that perspective and that belief. So a lot of business owners, they love being in charge of their own time, and they're enjoying the creativity that they can see realized in their business. Would that be true for you as a business owner? I would imagine yes, right? 96% of all small business owners in the U.S. and in Canada feel that control and flexibility of their time, of their creativity, is the best part of owning a business. This is according to the TD Bank Small Business Month survey. Small business owners also love talking to their clients. More than two-thirds, 68%, report that that's one of their favorite parts of running a business. 40% love fulfilling products and orders and providing services. And 1/4 love selling and setting appointments. That's pretty low. It's 25% of the respondents in this TD Bank survey. So that's telling you something. You know, if we could avoid this part here, the 25% part, we'd be happy entrepreneurs for sure. So what's your take? If you hate selling, you know, you're going to be in trouble, because sales is the key to any business, right? No sales, no business. No clients, you know, forget about it. So you cannot. So here's the other challenge too. Many of us, you know, at the small business level, can't afford to hire inside salespeople, right? Perhaps you know, it's hard to get and attract good salespeople. A lot of salespeople don't want to work perhaps solely on commission, and as small business owners, maybe that's all we can do in terms of paying someone to sell for us. Perhaps finding a business partner who's good at sales might be an alternative, or perhaps hiring a rep, an independent sales rep, might be, or an agency or a sales agency might be an option. So the bottom line is hiring somebody to do the selling for you at this level and this stage in the game of our business, it's pretty challenging, right? So it's also hard to find someone good that likes to sell, and it's also really hard to find somebody that's good that doesn't mind being on commission. Do you agree with that, guys? You can type in if you want, and I'll see your post. So what we're going to do over the next 4 weeks is help you change your mindset and reframe your thinking around some of the key challenges we face in selling today. You're gonna learn how to sell, and or my view is that if you learn how to sell, you'll never work for someone else again. We're going to look at, you know, some of the best case, worst case scenarios of selling. We're going to look at the idea of expect to hear no a lot, and not get too hooked by that no, because when we do hear no in selling, when we're talking to somebody or engaging with somebody or sharing an idea perhaps, or maybe even pitching too soon, we're going to hear no. What happens, or if we're making a cold call, a prospecting call, we're going to hear a lot of no's there for sure, right? You might get a lot of no's when you're at a networking event and introducing yourself. What we want to start to look at is playing for that, you know, 2 or 3 people in the room at a networking event, for example, that like us, right? That want us, that is our ideal client fit, right? Talk to that ideal client fit. So expect to hear no when you're out selling. The best case, worst case scenario of selling. You know, some of the best case scenarios is you make money, you get a sale, you perhaps meet somebody new that you weren't expecting. Eventually, maybe the client and you become connected as friends beyond just the client-vendor relationship, right? The worst case scenario of selling is the rejection part, right? That's usually the biggest fear, the fear of rejection. So as I said, when you're going to expect to hear a lot of no's, the key is to expect it. Don't get slayed by that, right? Don't make that no mean something. And that's usually where the challenge or the difficulty lies. We take that no really personally, right? And it's really important not to not to let it get to us. Usually, if somebody says no, it's just that they don't know you, they don't know enough about you to say yes, or perhaps the other critical thing is they're not ready yet to make that buy. They're not ready to buy your services. So your goal in business is to engage the customer, keep them in the loop, and keep that relationship alive until such time that your client's going to be ready to make a buying decision. So don't make no mean something. Usually we take it really personally and we make it mean something. I've gone so far personally as to make it mean that I should have chosen a different profession and I should have become a doctor. If you get rejected a lot, you might make it mean something else. So it's all okay. The other critical piece is believe in yourself, believe in what you're doing, believe in the fact that you've got something of value to give to somebody else. You're there to really ideally help somebody else get what they want. So at the very heart of what you do, you really, I know with the people on the call tonight that all of you really want to help someone else get some kind of a result. So that's where you want to focus your conversations, your sales conversations, be it a prospecting call, be it talking it up at a networking event about your business, be it in an elevator ride up with maybe one of your hottest prospects, or even at a trade show. Know that at the heart of what you do, you really do help somebody else get the results that they're seeking. And then we'll also be talking about focusing on long-term relationships over the next 4 weeks, and persisting. Don't give up just at one. It takes apparently 9 to 12 contacts with a client, and by contacts I don't mean sales calls or a prospecting call. It could be your social media engagement. It could be sending them a direct mail piece. It could be inviting them to a networking event. It takes 9 to 12 contacts to finally break down that door and get the sale. So as I always say, if you don't mind the negative aspects, the challenges, if you don't mind, it doesn't matter. It's mind over matter, right? So if you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Understand that customers need you too, right? They need your talents, your skills and services. You're helping them achieve goals that they want in their life. So, trying to limit the thinking of, well, you're just out to get new customers and just out to get a sale, and start thinking that, what, I'm really here to help somebody achieve their dreams. I'm really here to help somebody alleviate pain or solve a problem, or, Vinny, in your case, make an event, like an amazing event, right, with your DJ services. So when you start to view what it is you're doing, and then when you have a conversation with a possible prospect and you're coming at it like, hey, I'm really here to help you. I got some ideas, I got some solutions, I've got services and products that are going to help you make more money, save time, make you look good, make you feel good, improve your health, and improve your bottom line, right? When you kind of change the thinking and you start to approach people with, hey, I've got something for you, I'd love a little time with you to see if we can work together. And that kind of makes the idea of either be it prospecting, making prospecting calls or cold calls, or knocking on doors if that's your thing, or attending networking events or various business events, it makes it a lot more easier to be able to communicate your value. And that's what we're going to kind of touch base on now. What I want you to do, I want you guys to work on this as we go through this webinar tonight. I want you to get clear on why someone would want to buy your products or services. I want you to think of 3 whys, and then so work on that, and then get clear, and then you can type it out. If you don't want to speak, you can type it in the chat pane that you've already been using, and then get clear on the benefits to using your goods and services. So in this case, what does a customer that you've worked with get after buying from you? How have you changed their life or improved their bottom line or impacted their business? So if you can just work on those for a couple of minutes, and I want to read or hear your answers. Okay. So why should somebody buy from you? And how have you changed somebody's life, improved their bottom line, or impacted their business? Take a few moments, all right? Now, I'll just be quiet here for a bit and just work on this. And I want to hear the answers. How you doing there? Hope you're working. Okay, I see one. All right, Megan says, yes, sales and marketing to the right audience has been uncomfortable and difficult to navigate, especially without the ability to hire someone to assist with this. So, Megan, I think over the next 4 weeks, we're going to help you make it a lot more easier. So why don't you to write down what your whys are, and what's the end result when somebody's worked with you? Or what does a client say? You know, it's like, man, you've saved my life, you know? So AJ, expert tech ability and good value for money. That's good, AJ, but that's surface. That's the surface. So let's dig a little deeper here, okay? When you say expert tech ability, what does that really mean? What does that translate to? How does that save me time, worry, aggravation, problems, right? How does that affect my ability to be productive at work or in my business? So you need to dig a little bit deeper. And when you say good value for money, what do you mean by that, right? So, because you know, we get like you know, most vendors today are good value for money, but what do you mean by good value? What's your value? What value are you offering for the money, right? And you also said you remove pain and protect data. Okay, what pain? What pain do people have when you work with them? How do you help them? So dig a little deeper, AJ, on that. And Megan, if they are feeling disempowered, lacking a feeling, disempowerment to an authentic and fulfilling source of internal energy, if they are seeking fulfilling relationships with others but encountering recurring patterns that block expansion of all involved. That's cool, and I let you know, but it's a little bit of you understand that the average human being might not, right? So when you say feeling disempowered to an authentic, fulfilling source of internal energy, that's like, huh? Right? For a lot of people. So what is it, like again, dig deeper there. What is it that they get when they do that? Okay? What do they get when they do that? And Vineet, you're saying for the second question, clients and friends remember a great event. Yeah, like unbelievable memories. You know, like your wedding night's like amazing, right? And music really, you know, sets the tone. So for sure, Vineet. So I'm going back to Megan. You need to sort of drill down a little bit deeper in terms of when people do connect to that internal energy, or they're, you know, when they're empowered. So reverse it a bit. What are they getting? How are they going to feel? How's that going to translate into various aspects of their life? That's kind of what I'm looking for, right, Megan? Okay, let's move on. Good job so far, everyone. I like the fact you're writing. So over the next 2 days, the next 4 weeks rather, we're going to look at doing a little masterminding like we just did there, learning. There's going to be homework. There's going to be accountability, maybe some teamwork, and hopefully a new relationship to selling. So we want to get you in the game. So over the next 4 weeks, you're going to know yourself. That's what we're looking at tonight. We're also going to know your niche, your ideal customer profile. We're going to look at the various approaches to connecting with your prospects and ideal clients, warming up the sales call, developing a sales action plan. We're going to actually have you develop a sales action plan. Selling really, at the heart of it all, it's really a good conversation. And you want to have good, compelling conversations with people. So we're going to look at that, what makes a good conversation. We're going to look at overcoming the fears and the blocks we have. We're going to look at the importance of asking great questions, right, to get great answers from our prospects and clients alike. Really important to for your ability to ask really, really good questions of your clients to get the information you need so you can serve them better. We're also going to look at not to give up and stay in touch. Find ways to keep in touch with your customers, right? After they buy, it shouldn't be goodbye. It should be, hey, we want you back. We want you to buy something else from us. We want you to maybe make a referral. So we'll look at the importance of staying in touch with your customers. We'll look at the importance of relationship in the sales process. So let's dig deeper. We asked you those 2 questions. And what those questions are about is about understanding what your value is. What's your worth, right? So AJ, you mentioned you get good value for money, right? What does that mean exactly? So in order to begin a conversation with any prospect, whether you're at a networking event or you're making a cold call or you meet them in the line at the grocery store, and I've met some customers at the gym, and having a sauna after. I know, TMI, or you're getting an image. Anyway, you've got to let your customers know what you do for them and share a few key benefits with your prospects and clients. What is it that, we already asked about this. What are some of the outcomes a client or prospect would get from you? So you need to know, what are the outcomes? What are they getting? Is it peace of mind? Is it, hey, you know what? Your system's protected. You're not going to get a virus, AJ, in your case, right? Because a virus can totally torpedo your whole system. And not only that, these days with emails, you could spread viruses to your clients. And I don't think your clients are going to really enjoy that. So you really need to sort of get clear as to really what is it that you do to help a client. What's that outcome, right? Have you done research, perhaps, that helps to support your business case? So professional organizers have research that states the average business owner wastes 9 days a year looking for lost files and paperwork. That's a lot of time wasted, right? What would you do with an extra 9 days a year? That's what they asked. So this is a compelling way to start a conversation. A business machine computer cleaner repair guy knows that there's more germs on a computer keyboard at work than there are on a toilet seat. This is an actual university study that was done a number of years ago, and he now uses that in his prospecting or marketing messaging or at a networking event. Because when he states this, people kind of go, oh, gross, right? And when you're at your work and you're working on the your computer keyboards, what's happening? Your employees are getting sick. You're losing productivity. They're not feeling well. It's a gross feeling to know that I'm typing on the computer and maybe I have a cold and I might wipe my nose a little bit, and then the next person works on the computer. It's gross, right? So you want to to get clear as to the outcome you get from working with clients. Start to do market research. Start to be a student of the game, right? Start to understand how your industry works. One of the tricks I use is I go to Google News and I subscribe to Google News stories about my industry, right? So, you know, it could be, well, I'll give you an example. My company name is called the Boomer Business Coach. And so I go on to Google and I ask for stories, news stories about boomers in business in Canada. I want Canadian news because that's where I'm mostly doing my work, right? So I get all kinds of news stories about the boomer market, anything from health issues to trends to their financial habits, right? So what happens is when I'm up to date and I'm staying current with what's going on with that boomer market, I can now have a lot, like a totally different sales conversation with them where we're talking about the issues and the challenges they're facing. And now what I can do is I can say, hey, is this true for you? You know, this is what news reports are showing. If this is true for you, this is what my company, this is what I can do to help you alleviate some of these challenges. Based on that, would you be open to having a look or a conversation or a meeting to see, you know, if we can help you even further, right? Everybody get that? It's a much different way to have a business conversation by staying up to date, doing the homework, doing the research on how your industry and how your business can potentially impact your clients. So here's a vitamin company used a Harvard study. So when you think of Harvard, you go, oh yeah, Harvard, wow, you know. And the Harvard study states that we're getting 30% less nutritional value in our daily intake of fruits and vegetables every day. So, you know, in terms of your business, I want you to write this down. What facts, data, and studies, and perhaps research, do you know now about your industry that you can put into an opening statement, into a conversation starter with a client, into an introduction you make in an IM or in at a networking event, or again in line at the grocery store? What are some facts and figures and research that you know about your industry that you can include in your conversations? Take a few minutes just to write this down and let's share. If you have any questions, ask. I'll just share in my research when I launched the Boomer Business Coach, um, the stats and the data and the research was showing that the boomer market, these are people 50 plus, was the fastest growing segment of the population going into business for themselves. Couple of other facts, they were having a lot of challenges financially, especially after the 2008 recession. So starting a business was born out of necessity financially, and also they're also losing jobs or leaving jobs due to downsizing or companies closing. And when they lose or leave jobs, they don't want to go back into the workplace. Studies showed that the boomer wanted to finally try something on their own, and it's a concept you can actually research it. It's called encore careers. So They felt that, you know what, I've been working for the man all my life, and I want to do something that I love to do. And so they're coming into being in business with not a whole lot of business skills, right? And so that's where we come in. So, you know, we can help them financially. We can help them, you know, be successful at their business. We can help them grow their business, right? You got it? So that's kind of the research that, that's only part of it, that I got from my Google News reports and studying the boomer market. So now I know, you know, what they're going through, and then I can not only tailor my sales and business conversations with them to in a way that's going to help them, but I can also customize my service to also help them. So I got some responses. Let's go read here. So here goes. Megan, let's see. In addition to the 2012 True Experimental Research Study, you completed your master's degree program, and there's been hundreds of additional published research studies all on the effectiveness of mindfulness and energy healing. Yeah, there's a lot of data and studies on mindfulness. Even in a corporate level, I've heard that the practice of mindfulness within the team helps to actually raise productivity and also enhances the work experience. And when the work experience, Megan, is enhanced, so is the customer experience. So John Kabat-Zinn, mindfulness studies, 80% of businesses do not recover. Oh, sorry. I'm on to somebody else there, Megan, sorry. But yeah, so keep doing that research, Megan, and find information that you can use in your conversations with your clients. So that's a good start. AJ, you're saying that up to 80% of businesses do not recover from a computer crash. Right. So are you protected, right? If you're not, and your computer goes down, what's that going to cost you? You know, in terms of replacing the data, and also the time and the money and the aggravation and the worry, right? It's funny you say that. Another place to do research is not only on Google, but you know, real life stories. I had a client of mine, AJ, that is in the film business, and he was doing filming, and he saved it all on his disk or his hard drive for his client, and his hard drive crashed, and he lost I would say about 25% of the work. And you go to your client and say, sorry buddy, but I lost 25% of the work. That client's not going to be too happy, right? So not only does it affect your business in terms of just in terms of, you know, your own worry and fears and losing your data, but it also can affect you know, a client. You know, the client, thankfully the client was okay, but you know, that could really torpedo a client relationship. Beneath, you add that statistics show that mobile DJs carry 75 to 80% of the responsibilities of the average wedding reception. Yeah, so you want to sort of reinforce the idea of trust, right? That you know, it's a big responsibility. You're responsible for the happiness and the fun quotient, and the memories and even the romance. You know, that wedding song. It's usually a romantic wedding song, and everybody kind of goes, oh, right? So you know, you want to ensure your clients that, you know, you're up to the task, right? That you're ready to accept that responsibility or make that event go really nicely. So where do you look, right? Where do you begin to look? So I mentioned Google. You know, start gathering market data. Maybe there's trade associations, schools, universities, your local economic development office, perhaps. Start loading up on research and data. There's also, if you go to the library, there's a site they'll tap you into. You got to be at the library to do it. It's called Data Monitor, And Data Monitor has market data or industry data for almost every industry out there. So that's a really, really resourceful tool. So start stocking up. You can also get industry trade magazines. You can, also tap into your industry trade association. Most of you have some sort of an association you can tap into. And Megan, we got more stuff. So yeah, definitely connect with the effectiveness of mindfulness and productivity within business teams. So you are supervisors of a team of behavioral counselors, and so you implemented the use of mindfulness practices to reduce their stress, because daily work at satellite locations around the city, they don't have direct teams to support emotional stress. And yeah, if you're dealing in the mental health and counseling business and the social service sector, yeah, there's a lot of burnout among the staff, never mind the patients, right, or the clients you serve. So yeah, that's a really important point to keep in mind. That could be a very lucrative market for you. And you've got the experience, right, and the research to sort of back that up. So now when you go talk to a client, you say, hey, you know what? I worked in this field. This is what I saw, right? What happens, guys, when you start using data and research and case studies and stories is you're now positioning yourself as a thought leader, as an expert, right? Somebody who, you're not just selling a service or a product, you're actually talking about how that service or product will actually benefit your clients, right? And that's what they want. They want to know what's in it for them, right? What's in it for me? And that's really important. So really important to know your value, know your worth. So what does value mean when we say, we provide good value for money? Well, place to look, the value equation, what value means is it's the sum. There's a value equation right here. See that? Value is the sum of your benefits. So what are your product benefits, your service benefits, the brand benefits, and the relationship benefits? When you add all of the benefits up, minus cost equals value. So I'll give you an example of a product benefit. It's spinach. So take spinach, which is like loaded with like free vitamins for energy. It's got antioxidants. It prevents cancer in both men and women. It's got vitamin K, which helps your eyesight. It's a super green food. Popeye loved it. It's healthy, it's nutritious, and it's low cost. But when I start to state all the benefits of that product, all of a sudden, cost, see here, cost doesn't matter. Why? Because that product is loaded with benefits. Benefits are value. So the more benefits you have, that's where your value is. What are the benefits to using your product or your service? What's the key benefit to using your service? I'll give you an example. FedEx, right? A few years ago, their slogan was what? When it absolutely, positively has to get their next day delivery or else. That's a benefit. I'm using that service. I got to get my package from here to, to Arizona, right? Tomorrow morning at 9:30. Who do I trust? Who am I going to go to? Right, FedEx, because they've got a service benefit that's so clear and so outstanding that that's what I'm going to use, because I know they're going to get my package to Arizona on my client's desk for 9:30 tomorrow morning, or else, right? So that's a service benefit. That's a service that's loaded with benefits and value, right? And you'll pay more. Who cares what it costs? I got to get it under my client's desk for 9:30 or I lost the deal. A good example of a relationship benefit is something for you to kind of work on now. Megan, I'm gonna use a Canadian example, okay? So there was a bank up here called TD Bank. So AJ and Vineet know about that. And TD Bank had a really cool commercial with these two old guys, and they'd be sitting outside the bank and they'd be looking at their watches, and they're going, huh? What's the bank doing open at 7 o'clock at night? In my day, we drove 5 miles to school backwards. So the idea was that TD Bank extended their hours. So you had a relationship in your mind with TD Bank. You could count on them to be open till 8 o'clock, where most banks close at what? 4, maybe 5, 6 o'clock. But you could go to TD Bank when you needed them. They were open at 8 till 8. Then the next ad, Megan, was that they were open on Saturdays, and then the next ad was they were open on Sundays too. So they're sitting outside going, hey, it's Sunday, what's the deal, what's the bank doing open on Sundays, And so it's banking when people needed to go to the bank, because not everybody has sort of standard Monday to Friday 9 to 5 hours, right? So what they did a really good job is that they reinforced in the minds of the customer the fact that they were open when you needed them to be open, right? And then brand benefit, good example of a brand benefit, Starbucks. You can rely on Starbucks. It's a cool place to go and hang out. The coffee's pretty good. Could be a little expensive, mind you. Heinz is another really good example of a brand benefit. They're so confident about their brand. Their slogan a few years ago was, Heinz, there are no other kinds, right? Heinz, there are no other kinds. But if you go to the grocery store, there's like 4 or 5 other kinds of ketchup. Can anybody name maybe 4 other lines of ketchup other than Heinz? This is hard to do. I'll wait till you type. Okay, we're getting good feedback here. PC brand, Hunt's. Yeah, AJ, you got a couple. So PC brand is the store brand. Hunt's. There's a couple of others. There's Aylmer. There's E.D. Smith. And there's French's, right? French's mustard. They now have, yeah, French. AJ got it, right. So now, so there's all these ketchups. But when you go to the grocery store, are you buying those? Or are you going to buy Heinz? Why? Because they've done such a good job at reinforcing their brand that it's in your head. You don't go to the grocery store going, I'm going to get me some Aylmer. That's another brand. Aylmer ketchup today, right? I'm going to get me some Aylmer ketchup. You kidding? You go home with that stuff, you're going to get, your family's going to disown you, right? Dad, why didn't you get the Heinz? Like, what's wrong with you? So they've done a really good job at building brand. Yeah, Kleenex tissues is another one. Coca-Cola is another one. I'll have a Coke, right? Unbelievable. So these are, some of the benefit examples, just again to reinforce that. Here's spinach, right? Eliminates free radicals, antioxidants, prevents cancer, healthy, nutritious. FedEx, of course, we talked about that. So when you focus on sharing the benefits, knowing what you do for people, knowing the end result for people, that's what's going to get you the sales. That's what's going to get you the appointments. That's what's going to get your customers or prospects to want to listen to you. I've got something for you. Here's the value. Here's what we do to help you. Here's the end result. Here's the bottom line, right? So here, the brand benefit breakdown, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Tim Hortons, the coffee chain, pretty good about relationship benefits, right? TD Bank. Yeah, so really important. So if you offer a service, I want you guys to take a little bit of time here. We still have time. It's about 10:02. If you offer a service, what are 3 benefits you think will matter most to your prospective customer? If you sell a product, what are 3 benefits that you think will make a difference to your prospective clients? And how can you enhance the image or impression a client has of you and your business? Can you think of 3 essential sales marketing tactics, more marketing, that you can take to drive home the image you want to be known for in the marketplace? So in other words, what can your clients count on you for? Are you open till 8? Are you open Sundays? What can we count on you for? So what are 3 benefits if you have a product? What are 3 benefits if you have a service? And then what can you do to drive home the image you want to be known for in the marketplace? Take a couple minutes just to work on this. So yeah, there's a little bit of work on these sessions. If you want to take a little stretch, you can do that right now. Okay, another moment on this. So what are 3 benefits? I think all of you are services. So what are 3 benefits that you think will matter most to your prospective customer? So, okay, emotional freedom. Right, heaviness, sadness, releasing that, right? Having more balance in your life, improved relationships in your own, with your career, with yourself. Yeah, these are great. And then you give people, the tools in their daily life to help them improve their long-term health, and also their, their energy, their lightness, their vitality, right? Raise the vibe. Good one, Megan. Thank you for that. Yeah, Vineet, peace of mind, fun, happiness, entertainment, just overall satisfaction, right? And I think fun's a big thing for you, right? I've seen your website and everything, and you're front and center, and you're happy, and you're having fun. So I think that's really, really an important part of it for sure. So in terms of marketing tactics, you want to look at the marketing messaging you're getting out there. You want to look at ways that you can educate your client, and you want to enhance and showcase the experience, right? So you need, in your case, videos, testimonials of happy husbands and wives who've just gotten married would be phenomenal for you as a way to reinforce that impression that you want your customers to have of you, right? As a service provider that's going to make that special night really magical, right? And do so that where it's stress-free, and you take care of the details, and you shoulder all the responsibility, right? So if you can perhaps have really cool testimonials, You know, little tidbits of an event where people are just having a great time, where you're interviewing people live at the event. Hey, you having a good time? Are you kidding? We're having a blast, right? Things like that that will really help to reinforce the image you want to be known for. All right, let's soldier on. We got a few minutes left here tonight. We're going to get working on helping you create a value proposition. So for those of you on the call, a value proposition is another way to, and I just saw your post here, Megan, and AJ, just real quick, you said, I just saw your post here too, peace of mind, computer is protected, viruses back up. Yeah, peace of mind is really important, and also the fact that, you know, if something did break down, you're covered, right? It's like insurance. You know, you don't always use insurance, but when you have it, boy, it's really nice. And I'll get to your post here in a second, Megan. So another way to communicate, you know, your value, which we just talked about, right? The value equation is the sum of your benefits. So there's product benefit, a service benefit, a brand benefit, and relationship benefit. Minus cost equals value. So a lot of companies now are using value propositions in their marketing messaging, perhaps even in their sales messaging. And these are some examples of some value propositions. Some are weak, some are better. So here's a weak one. We sell insurance. Well, big deal, right? How about this? We help families and individuals protect their most important assets, right? All of a sudden, the game's changed. It's ratcheted up a notch, right? Or we're the leading provider of multimedia advertising services. Well, that's nice. What do you really do for us? Well, we help businesses improve their bottom line. Okay, now you're getting somewhere, right? Or we sell shoes and athletic gear. That was actually Nike's original value proposition, if you can believe. They changed it to, we bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. If you have a body, you're an athlete. And that's actually has become not only their value proposition, but they worked it into their mission statement. So I want you to write yours. What's the most important end result you get for your clients, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to fine-tune and develop your value proposition. So what I want you to get clear on as you write this, we're almost done for tonight, is who's your target customer? So think of your target customer. Think of, you know, who's that person you really love to work with? Is it a, you know, Megan, in your case, is it a 40-year-old woman who's just, you know, had her children and she's working and she's stressed and she's taking care of her parents and she's taking care of work and she's taking care of her kids, you know? Is that your target? AJ, is it the new business owner that's just not prepared, you know, like didn't even think of having a backup, you know, or saving their data? Or Vineet, is your target customer the parents who are maybe throwing the wedding, or is it the bride and groom? And if it is it the younger bride and groom? You know, when you're young, you know, you're not you're a little like deer in the headlights almost, right? If you're an older couple, you're going to think differently about your wedding. So who's your target market? So for who are you wanting to work with? Who struggle with what? What's their biggest need or challenge or problem? And what have you developed, right? In very simple terms. And what does that help them achieve? So I'll give you an example of how this plays out. So I'll use a company that's doing yard work, you know, gardening and grass cutting and shoveling the snow in the winter. So for busy homeowners with young families, that's the target, who are so time pressured with between work and commuting and taking care of their kids and their families, they have really little time on the weekends and their free time to want to spend time cutting the grass, doing the lawn, and clearing the snow. Well, we've developed a full service you know, home maintenance company that helps young couples, busy young couples, have more time to do and focus on the things that matter to them, like their kids, the golf course, you know, that kind of thing, right? So that's how it would play out. So take a moment or two to write your value proposition, all right? And if you can, share it. So who's your target customer? What are they challenge? What's their biggest challenge or problem? What have you developed? And what does that help them achieve? We're almost done. A couple more minutes. I actually use this on my website, and I use this value proposition now as my networking pitch. Another maybe 30 seconds on this, guys. And I want to, if you can write it down. All right, I'm getting some answers. And Megan, I think you're going to get this. Like you write about better ways to communicate and not be nervous and not overstepping the contrary, not aligned to your mission. I think you're going to get this over the next, 4 weeks. Okay. Vineet writes, since 2003, our company has been helping Toronto area couples with wedding entertainment to help provide fun, reliable, stress-free services. You're almost there. You just want to try and follow this value proposition format if you can, Vineet, and then I think you got a really rock solid value proposition. So this idea of a value proposition, what it does when somebody, let's say you have this on your website. I have it on my first page. I'm doing a new website, and I have my value proposition right at the top. Why? Because it sets the tone. The person coming on will know who I'm talking to. They'll understand that I understand their problem or challenge, and they'll get clarity that I've got ideas and solutions to help them solve those, and they'll get clear as to the outcomes they're going to get from working with my company, right? So it's really kind of a cool way to illustrate to your customers and your value, the worth, the what you're going to do to help somebody. So this idea of the value proposition comes from a guy by the name of Alex Osterwalder of strategizer.com. He developed a one-page business plan or a map, a roadmap called the Business Model Canvas, and it's a strategic management and lean startup template for developing new or documenting existing business models. So it's a visual chart or map with the elements describing your business's value proposition, the infrastructure, your customers, finances, key activities, the channels of communication, right? And it assists companies by aligning all their business activities and illustrating potential trade-offs, right? So I'll just show a video. We're almost done. I hope this works. This should work.
Let's look at the value proposition.
Here we go. It's about 4 minutes. Bear with me. We'll be finished soon.
Manage great customer value propositions. It's like a plug-in to the business model canvas.
That's the business model canvas,
based
guys.
on two elements of your business model: the customer segment who you intend to create value for, and the value proposition which you believe will attract customers. With the value proposition canvas, you can map out both in more granularity and show the fit between what you offer and what customers want. The customer segment profile describes the characteristics of your customers in more detail. The profile is composed of the jobs your customers are trying to get done in their work and in their lives, the related pains outlining the negative aspects they hate and would like to avoid, and third, the gains describing the positive outcomes and benefits which your customers would love to have. Now let's look at the profile. Jobs describe the important nature of solving the work in their life. It could be the task they're trying to perform, problems they're trying to solve, or the needs they're trying to satisfy. Then jobs can have a functional, social, or emotional intent. Some jobs will be crucial to their customers, others will be trivial. And the second aspect here are the pains describing anything that annoys your customers before, during, and after getting a job done. This could be undesired costs and situations, negative emotions, or risks. Again, some customer pains will be severe, others light. And the third aspect of the profile are the gains describing the outcomes, the benefits the customers require, expect, desire, or will be surprised by. This includes things like functional utility, social gains, positive emotions, and cost savings. Again, some outcomes and benefits will be more relevant to customers than others. These three elements of the profile describe the customer characteristics that you can observe in the market. Now let's look at the value proposition map, describing the features of your value proposition, which you are designing to address your customers' most important jobs, pains, and gains. The map is composed of the products and services your value proposition is built around, the pain relievers outlining how your products and services alleviate customer pains, and third, the gain creators describing the positive outcomes and benefits the products and services create for your customers. Now let's look at the map in more detail. First, the products and services simply outline the bundle of products and services that you're offering customers to help them get a functional, social, or emotional job done and to address their pains and gains. The second aspect are the pain relievers make explicit how your products and services will alleviate specific customer pains before, while, and after the customer is trying to get a job done. They show which of all the customer pains or value proposition is addressing by eliminating or reducing them. Next aspect here are the gain creators. They make explicit how your products and services create customer gains. They show which of all the customer gains your value proposition is addressing by creating benefits and outcomes. And you have achieved the so-called problem-solution fit when the features of your value proposition perfectly match the characteristics of your customer segment profile. When the market validates this match and your value proposition gets traction with real customers, you have achieved the so-called product market fit. But don't forget, successful businesses have more than just a great value proposition. They have a great business model that makes a customer value proposition possible. Now, do you have what it takes to design great business models and value propositions with pain relievers and gain creators that match real customer jobs, pains, and gains? Class dismissed.
All right, so that is little overview of the value proposition. That was actually Alex Osterwalder. He wrote a book as well. Now the book name is escaping me, but look him up because it's a great business book and a wonderful tool for you and a resource to have in your library. So what I want you to do over the next week is that value proposition. I want you to work on it, and I want you to share it with somebody, right? And see if it inspires that person, right? One of the keys to this course is to do a little bit of homework. So ask a couple of your colleagues or friends, maybe it's a buddy, your spouse, whatever, for feedback on your value proposition and how to make it even better. And next week I want to hear them, all right? So really important to know yourself, right? Know your industry, know how you impact a client's life or business, know what you have to offer, know your worth, your value, the benefits of your service and offering, right? So one of the first steps in my 6-step sales process is research. So really important to start to research, do your homework about your industry, stay up to date on new trends, ways that perhaps even some of your competitors are having success serving their clients. So you can borrow perhaps on their business model. You can borrow on, hey, this is the impact that my industry is having on customers, and use it in your own sales and marketing messaging, right? Because what you want to do is you want to start to position yourself as an expert, not as somebody who's just selling stuff or just trying to pitch a product, right? That day and age, that kind of advertising, marketing, sales technique, gone, right? Doesn't work for us anymore, right? So you want to position yourself as an expert, that you know your stuff, that you're there to solve problems for your clients, that you understand what's going on for your clients, you understand their challenges and issues and what you have to help them, and it's going to just help you relate to your client in a much more profound way. I'll just leave you with one quick story of a home stager. So this is what she did to kind of connect to her clients. So this is back in the last recession. We're done in about 1 minute after this story. So the last recession back in 2008, she came in for a coaching session. Said, "Oh my God, the market's dried up. I'm not getting any clients. Nobody in real estate wants to hear from me." And she was just almost really in tears because it really, and I can kind of feel her pain because, the market was a little bit, down to say the least after that 2008 recession, especially in the home market. So I asked this woman, her name was Deborah, to let's look at and see what's going on online in your industry, what's happening, right? So we did that Google News search, and we found an amazing story out of a newspaper in Florida, which, if you remember, the Florida market got really hard hit by that real estate debacle, right? So the news story said that even in this crazy economy, homes that are staged were still getting 9% more on the resale value of the house, and homes that were staged were selling way faster than homes that weren't. And I just asked my client in that meeting, I said, you got to use this in your marketing messaging. This is the value. This is the result you're getting. This is what the result your industry is getting. So she used it. She started to make calls, some more prospecting calls to real estate agents, and she just used that study almost word for word. She said, "Hi, Joe, it's Deborah from XYZ Home Staging, and studies show that even in this crazy economy, that homes that are staged are getting 9% more in the resale value of the house, and homes that are staged are selling a lot faster. If that's a result that you'd like for your real estate practice and the clients you serve, that's what I do. So I'd love to meet with you for a half hour, show you our work, see if we're fit to work together, and I'm wondering if we can meet maybe next Tuesday at 2, right?" So that's how she would introduce herself on a prospecting call, on a cold call. She also modified it a bit for networking events, so that the right people at that networking event would come up to her after and go, "Oh, I got to talk to you. I'm selling my house. I want it sell. I want to sell it fast, and I want to make more money." Right? So what real estate agent doesn't want that result? So here's a little bit more homework. So I want you to share your value proposition, fine tune it, work on it this week, but really get clear. What are a couple benefits? Share a story or research that pertains to your client's industry or your industry for next week. Here's an ask I have of you. Get a mentor. Get somebody in sales or business that you like and get a mentor. Ask somebody to talk to you once a month about your business so you can be more effective at what you do. And another ask I have of you is get an accountability partner to work with. Over the next 4 weeks, call somebody up and ask them, would you be my accountability partner? I want to share what I'm learning in this course. I want to put what I'm learning in this course to action. Would you hold me accountable to that? So that's your homework. You got a few things to work on. Any questions before we wrap up? We said 8:15. It's 8:15 on the button. Any questions at all? Comments? Did you guys learn anything? I hope you did. Next week, we're going to learn more about your customers. All right? So I'm going to just stop recording. I just wish you all a beautiful week. Thank you for being here and being patient.